Hello everyone. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how to set boundaries in your family. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm super happy to have you here. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date with our weekly videos on mental health related topics and helpful coping skills for you to apply in your own everyday lives. My name is Gabriel Arroyo, and I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist located in Southern California. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about how to set boundaries in your family. So yeah, you heard me right. We're going to be setting boundaries in our family. If you're thinking that that's a foreign thing already and you're like, whoa, like really? We're going to be doing it in our family? This is the video for you, because I know how difficult it is to set boundaries in general, and then more so in our family. There's that taboo kind of unspoken rule that you just don't tell your family no. But I'm here to tell you that that's not how it works, and that's not a healthy approach to have. So if you're feeling a little tense about this video, this is it. This is for you. So the first thing to know is boundaries are essential for healthy relationships. It's essential for healthy relationships, setting boundaries and parameters of what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. It's okay to say no. So we have that expectation set, and now how do we actually start doing it? You have to be clear on what you want and need in this relationship. So when it comes to family, those lines are blurred so much. And I'm here to tell you, it's okay to set the boundaries and say no and ask for what you want and need in the relationship. So let's just talk about basic communication. So if there's tones, yelling, things that are just being talked about that you're not comfortable with, you're allowed to set that boundary and say, hey, you know, I don't want to talk about that. And it's completely okay. If somebody is disrespecting you with the way that they're communicating with you, you could set that boundary as well. So saying, hey, you know, if you're going to talk to me about this hot topic, politics, religion, holidays, whatever it may be, you're allowed to say, we're not going to be using this type of language. You're not going to yell at me. You're not going to call me names, or whatever the case may be. And kind of a weird thing to think about, right? Is we have to think about that in families. But yeah, families do that, right? My family does it, and I'm a therapist, right? So name calling, language, specific topics, it's okay to set that boundary and say, no, we're not going to be communicating this way. And then asking for your wants and needs very clearly. So what I usually recommend when I'm working with clients is express your intention up front, right? If we just start putting boundaries just left and right, people aren't going to like that, right? But like, hey, you can't talk to me like this, and you can't do this. People don't like rules, and that becomes rules versus healthy boundaries to move forward in our relationship and build better relationships or family dynamics. So what I recommend is express your intention. You know, family member, I want our relationship to become stronger, healthier, get closer, I love you, whatever you want to say. We're setting that frame, that intention of why we're setting these boundaries. It makes me feel uncomfortable when this happens, and I want us to feel close and get closer together and have good, healthy communication. So I need X, Y, or Z. So set the intention up front so that way they know why this is going on. And then finally, if people aren't respecting your boundaries, you set the intention, you ask clearly for what you want and need, you set the boundary, you said, hey, we can't do this. And if they're still continuing, be a broken record. Okay, so be a broken record. I see people that set the boundary, they do all these steps, and then they're like, Gabe, they're still doing it. They're still calling me names, or they're still raising their voice at me, so I ghosted them. That's not the way we set boundaries, right? People don't change overnight. So I'm not saying excuse the behavior. I'm saying be a broken record. We have to remind them, be like, hey, we agreed, remember, this is my boundary. You can't talk to me like this. You can't say this. You can't treat me this way. We're not talking about this topic, and this is why. So we have to be a broken record and remind them. Now, there are just some people that'll keep going. And if that's happening, then you can start reinforcing those boundaries with essentially the consequences. So for me, when I set a boundary, I say, you know, here's the intention. I want us to get closer. I want us to have healthy communication. Here's the boundary. And then I broken record it. Like, hey, you know what? We already talked about this. If you continue, I'm just not going to be a part of this conversation. I'm just not going to talk about this with you. I'm gonna hang up. I'm going to leave. I'm going to put you on a timeout. So we start reinforcing the consequences if people are going to continue to violate our boundaries. I know this is a very difficult topic. I have difficulties with it at times just because it's our family, right? We want to kind of go with the flow and make it even keel and easy going. But once again, boundaries are essential for healthy communication and healthy relationships. If you have any questions or any scenarios that you want to troubleshoot, please feel free to comment below. I'd love to help you out and we'll look at these together. There's also a book that I would highly recommend. It's called Boundaries by St. Cloud. I'm going to leave a link in the description. Check it out. It's been very helpful for me and my family. So check out that book. And once again, ask any questions you may have in the comments below. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to stay up to date with our weekly videos on mental health related topics and helpful coping skills for you to apply in your own everyday lives. Thank you.